From Cold War legends to modern battlefield beasts, this is the ultimate journey through every helicopter ever built by Mikhail. Heavy lifters, attack machines, transport giants, we're covering them all. First up, attack helicopters. Mi-24, Mil's legendary Hind gunship, a flying tank that can haul troops and rain hell. Those stub wings and tandem cockpit became the face of Soviet air power worldwide. Mi-24A, the original Hind with that weird greenhouse cockpit. Mil was still figuring out the attack helicopter formula here, but you can see the gunship DNA forming. Now this is the Mi-24 Super Hind, South African upgrade that dragged the classic Hind into the 21st century. Modern avionics, better weapons integration, proof that Mil's basic design was solid enough to keep upgrading. Mi-25, export designation for the Mi-24D. Mil sold these all over the world. They've seen action in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, you name it. Still flying combat missions today. Now this is the Mi-28, Mil's dedicated attack bird. No troop compartment, just pure gunship. That titanium bathtub cockpit can shrug off 23mm rounds. They call it the Havoc for good reason. Mi-28NM, the Night Hunter upgrade with millimeter wave radar and uprated engines. Mil basically made it an all-weather, day-night killing machine. Russia's most advanced attack helo currently flying. Now this is the Mi-35, modern Hind variant with upgraded avionics and weapons. Mil kept refining the design. Shorter wings, better systems. Still carries troops while bringing serious firepower. Then AH-2 Sabre, Brazil's heavily modified Mi-35 with French and South African tech. Shows how adaptable Mil's basic airframe is. Operators can customize the hell out of it. Continuing with medium military transport and assault helicopters. Mi-4, Mil's first big transport from 1952 with a radial piston engine. Basically copied the H-19 Chickasaw, but became the workhorse that put Soviet helicopters on the map. Mi-8, the most produced helicopter in history. Mil absolutely nailed the medium transport formula. Flies everywhere from Antarctica to war zones, does everything reliably. Next, Mi-8A MTSH. They call this beast the Terminator for a reason. Mil took the reliable Mi-8 frame and packed it with rockets, missiles and armor. Transport that fights back hard. Mi-9. Airborne command post variant stuffed with radios and communications gear. Mil designed it so commanders could direct battles from the sky while staying mobile. Mi-17. Updated Mi-8 with more powerful TV3 engines, and tail rotor moved to the other side. Mil made it for hot and high operations, crushes thin mountain air, no problem. Next, Mi-171, export version of the Mi-17 that's become incredibly popular worldwide. Mil's reliability reputation means operators trust it for everything from cargo to medical evacuation. Next, Mi-172. VIP and passenger transport variant with comfortable interiors. Mil proved their workhorses could be dressed up nice for executive and government transport roles. Mi-18, stretched Mi-8 prototype with extra windows and cleaner lines. Mil was experimenting with improving the classic design, though this particular variant never entered production. Mi-19, specialized airborne command post for high-ranking officers. Mil packed it with advanced radio equipment to keep communications flowing during operations. Mi-38, Mil's modern medium transport with composite rotors and advanced avionics. Better range, more comfortable, safer, represents their next-generation transport philosophy. Next up, heavy lift and strategic transport helicopters. Mi-6, world's largest helicopter when it flew in 1957. Those stub wings actually provided lift in forward flight. Mil went absolutely massive, and it worked. Thing hauled incredible loads. Mi-10. Mil took the Mi-6 and added super tall landing gear for carrying bulky cargo underneath. Looks like a giant flying crane insect, but it could haul prefab buildings and machinery. Mi-10K. Flying crane version with a rear-facing cockpit so the pilot could watch the load. Mil designed it specifically for construction work precision placement of heavy stuff. V-12. Mi-12, largest helicopter ever built, period. Mil mounted two Mi-6 rotor systems on wings in a side-by-side layout. Absolute unit that still holds records, though only 2 prototypes flew. Mi-26, current heavy lift champion with 8-blade rotor. Mill designed it to replace the Mi-6, can carry 20 tons internally or sling load even more. Nothing else comes close. The next one, Mi-27, planned Mi-26 variant as a flying command post for extended airborne operations. Mill wanted to create an aerial command center using their biggest airframe. Let's move on to Naval and Anti-Submarine Warfare, ASW, helicopters. Mi-14, amphibious anti-submarine version, based on Mi-8 with a boat hull. Mill made it land on water, hunt subs, sweep mines. Soviet Navy's workhorse maritime helicopter, Mi-14BT, mine countermeasures variant towing heavy sweeping equipment. Mill specialized it for clearing naval mines, dangerous work requiring precise hovering over water. Moving on to light utility, observation and training helicopters, Mi-1. Mill's first production helicopter from 1948. Simple three-seater that launched the entire company. Over 2,500 built, it proved Soviet rotary-wing aviation was viable. Mi-2, light twin-turbine utility bird, actually built in Poland. Mill designed it, but licensed production to PZL. Became hugely popular in civilian and military roles worldwide. Now this is the Mi-3, more powerful evolution of the Mi-1, for medical and utility work. Mill kept improving their light helicopter line, though the Mi-2 eventually became more popular. Next, Mi-34, light training helicopter that can actually do aerobatics, loops, rolls, the works. Mill designed it for pilot training with a side-by-side cockpit and forgiving handling. The next one, VRT 500, modern light coaxial design with sleek lines and side-loading doors. Mill is pushing into urban air mobility with this futuristic-looking civilian transport. Let's move on to unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. VRT 300, unmanned coaxial UAV designed for Arctic monitoring and cargo delivery. Mill's diving into autonomous systems. This thing carries serious payload without needing a pilot aboard. And our last category is experimental, prototypes and concept projects. Mill EG, experimental gas turbine testbed from the early days. Mill was pioneering turbine propulsion for helicopters. This proved the concept before turbines became standard. V5, Mi-5, proposed single-engine medium transport that stayed on paper. Mill was exploring different configurations, but this particular design never got built. V7, Mi-7, wild experiment with tip-jet rotors, small engines on the blade tips. Mill tried it, but discovered jet rotors are mechanically complex and thirsty. Fascinating dead end. V8, direct ancestor to the legendary Mi-8. Started single engine, evolved to twin turbines. Mill's development process visible here. You can see the classic transport silhouette taking shape. V12, early 1950s heavy lift concept, not the giant twin rotor from 1967. Mill was already thinking massive cargo capacity when heavy lift helicopters were barely a thing. V16, heavy lift project with twin massive engines for extreme lifting power. Mill was constantly pushing the boundaries of how much weight rotary wings could move. V24, first prototype that became the Mi-24 Hind. Mill's initial attempt at an armed troop transport. This design revolutionized combat helicopter doctrine worldwide. Now this is the Mi-20, planned light utility replacement focusing on simplicity and low operating costs. Mill wanted an easy-to-fly, cheap-to-maintain sky taxi, but never progressed beyond planning. Mi-22, heavy lift airframe converted to flying command post with extensive communications gear. Mill designed it so generals could command from above the battlefield. Mi-30, tilt rotor project trying to combine airplane speed with helicopter vertical capability. Mill explored this concept, but never built a full prototype. Russia's V-22 that wasn't. Mi-32, absolutely gigantic three-rotor design for moving tanks and heavy equipment. Mill went even bigger than the Mi-26. On paper, triangular rotor layout was wild. Mi-36, light multi-purpose concept emphasizing agility and efficiency. Mill was exploring different utility roles, but this stayed conceptual without physical prototypes. Mi-40, heavily armed transport concept, full squad plus serious firepower. Mill was evolving the armed transport idea beyond the Hind into next-gen assault helicopter thinking. Mi-42, Notar exploration using ducted fan anti-torque. Mill investigated quieter, safer designs by eliminating the tail rotor entirely. Interesting direction they didn't pursue. The next one, ME-46, heavy lift concept between medium transports and the massive ME-26. Mill was planning the lineup to cover every cargo weight class imaginable. Me-52, compact four-seater for light utility and observation work. Mill designed it to fill gaps in their light helicopter offerings across varied environments. Next, Mi-54, medium twin-engine concept prioritizing modern safety and passenger comfort. Mill was thinking about next-gen utility platforms with better ergonomics. Up next, Me-58. Wild idea to use attack helicopter dynamics for high-speed passenger transport. Mill wanted to leverage gunship power for fast civilian travel. Unique approach that stayed conceptual. Me-60 MAI. Ultralight trainer for basic flight instruction. Mill designed this simple machine to make helicopter pilot training accessible and efficient for new students. Me-PSV. High-speed research testbed pushing helicopter velocity limits. Mill built this flying laboratory to explore how fast rotary wings could actually go. Up next, Me-X1. Advanced concept with counter-rotating coaxial rotors plus pusher propeller. Mill was exploring maximum aerodynamic efficiency, cutting-edge rotor technology for speed and lift.